So in this lesson, we're going to take it up a notch from our last one, and rather than adding a background, we're actually going to entirely replace a background where we're painting over what existed and then adding our own background. And what we're going to do is we're going to take an image of a man busking on the street and make it look like he's actually doing a live performance with the magic of Photoshop. Let's get started. All right, let's go to File, Open, and in our assets, I'm going to open the Christian Lou JPEG file. And here you can see a man busking in the middle of a street. What I want to do is I want to make it look like he's performing a concert on a stage. So to do that, we're going to have to separate him from the background, paint out the existing background, and then use our atmosphere overlays and our stage light overlays to create the appearance that he's on a stage. Okay, so first things first, let's cut him out of the background. Now, this background here you can see is not something that the smart tools in Photoshop are going to have a very good time of selecting. You can kind of tell right away with almost any image whether you're going to be able to use the AI tools or not. In this case, I'm pretty sure it's not going to do the greatest of jobs. Surprisingly, it did better than I expected in terms of selecting him out, but you can see it's added her, it missed part of the guitar, and missed part of this. So I think for this, I would rather just make the selection manually. So to do that, I'm going to use the pen tool and basically draw a large vector all around him. So to do that, I'm going to click and drag, and that handle is going to determine the curve of my line. And to cut off a handle, I can hold down Option and click on the anchor point. And if I click without dragging, it'll make a straight line. If I click and drag, it'll make a curve. And that is essentially how the pen tool works. And it is a little hard to get used to, but once you are used to it, it's pretty easy to use. And the beauty of it is that it's resolution independent. So you can get these really nice curves that aren't affected by the pixelation of your image or anything else. So before all the smart selection tools were added to Photoshop, using the pen like this was kind of the default go-to for all professional Photoshop users for making selections. All right, because this is relatively boring, I'm going to add some music, but I'm not going to fast forward because quite a few people have trouble doing this, and maybe watching me do the entire thing in real time will help you. So you can enjoy some music while you watch me do this meticulous selection. Alright, that should do the trick. You will notice that I did not select this cable or this, but I do want them in the selection. So what I'm going to do is just add this, and you'll see how I do that in a second. All right, so a few things we need to do now. First, I want to take this selection, and I just went on the direct selection tool. The shortcut for that is A. So I selected this and I selected that. So both of those are selected, and what I want to do is, so it's already on combined shapes, and now what I want to do is merge shape components, and you'll see that they're now combined. Next thing I want to do is select these two and put them on subtract front shape, just like that. So now everything should be one selection, and if I make selection out of this, hit OK, you can see, nope, didn't quite do it. So you can see this selection should be cut out there. So what I'm going to do is go back to this and select all these and put it on exclude overlapping shapes. That's what I want. All right, now let's go to make selection again, hit OK, and that looks good. And add a mask to it. All right, and then the last thing is I want this cable. Now I could make a path on either side of the cable, but I'm going to show you a quick trick that you can do with paths. But before I do it, one thing you should know about paths is if you have a work path and you start a new one, it's going to delete your old one. So to do that, just double click on the path here and then name it. So this can be man. That way, just in case you ever want to go back to that path that you took quite a bit of time making, you haven't lost it. So when you're done creating a long, intricate path, rename it in your paths palette. All right, so now what I want to do is basically just make a path that follows this cable. And I want it to be in as much as possible. I want it to be inside the middle of this cable, my path. And it should follow the curves quite closely. Just like that. Should do the trick. All right, now with that path selected, I want to go to my brush tool and select a hard brush. Maybe take the hardness down to 90 and then take the pixels down to 9 pixels. And then with white and my mask selected, I'm going to go to paths, and this will stroke your path. So I just stroked it, and if we look here, you can see that cable is now in my path. Just like that. Perfect. All right. Now what I can do is start painting this background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this blackout. What we're going to do is with a large soft brush, I'm going to select this sky color and just start painting. And what I want to do is I want to paint around everything but these two very blurry foreground, and I also don't want to paint out the ground and these cables that he's standing on, because those look like they could be on a stage somewhere. So just like this, paint, paint, paint. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller as I get closer to this, because I don't want to paint that out. Make our brush bigger again. Good. So that looks good. Now what I want to do is start bringing in my overlays. So let's go place embedded, and we'll start with the first one, Nuclei Stage Light 11. I'm going to put this one here. We've got this kind of edge light hitting him, so we're going to make it look like that light is coming from here. So let's put that on screen. Let's do File, Place Embedded. And let's grab the next one. This one is going to be up here. Let's put that on screen. Next one. I'm going to put this one, let's flip it horizontal and put that one up here. Actually, let's put that right about there. And File, Place Embedded. The last light. We're going to flip that one horizontal and put that one kind of up here. And let's put that one on screen. So now we've got the lights. Let's move this one. Sorry, let's move this one. Whoops, wrong one. This one over maybe a little more there, like that. And then finally, let's do File, Place Embedded. And we have this textured light, so let's store that in there. Kind of want this to be smoke behind him, like this. So look like it's coming from this light. Let's put that on screen. And we're going to have to add a mask to that, and with a gradient. And black is our foreground color. Just get rid of this hard edge. Like that. And maybe a little bit off the bottom like that. Good. This one, I think right about there. All right, then next we're going to do File, Place Embedded again. We're going to add this water, and this is just going to add a little bit of dust in the air. Let's put that on screen. It's just a nice element because this background is so clean, I want it to look like it was actually photographed, and just having a few spots like this will help a lot. Let's do File, Place Embedded again. I'm going to use the water 34. And this one, do the same thing. Put that on screen and take the opacity way down. This works even just at like 5% opacity. It actually does help. Okay, so having done all that, I now want to put a heavy color grade on the whole image. Actually, before that, I want to add just a little bit more stage detail in here. So let's go File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to grab this image here. We're just going to use the ceiling part of it. So let's add a mask to it, mask it from there. Put this up here, put it behind all the lights. And let's do a black and white on it. And then take the opacity down. Around 40% looks good. Make it a little bit bigger. That's just going to add the appearancy that there's a stage here. It's subtle, but just those few little details do help a lot to sell the kind of appearancy of this being a stage. So with all those in place, I now want to give it a strong color grade. To do that, I'm going to use a gradient map, and I want it to go from kind of a strong purpley color to a warm orangey color, something like that. Let's put this on soft light, and right away we're starting to get that look of this being a concert. This light here is bugging me a bit, so what I'm going to do is make it a little bit smaller, and maybe right about there. Yeah, that's better. All right, lastly, I'm going to force the color grade even a little more with a curve. I'm going to go to the blue, bring up the bottom, bring down the top, and then add a little bit of cyan, and maybe bring up the middle of the blue just a bit. And then in our RGB, just give it a tiny bit of an S-curve like that. There you can see our before and our after.